Welcome to Garden Invaders. Today we're in Hampshire to help out a lovely lady who's been gardening for a staggering 80 years. Morning all, yes, we're in Tadley in Hampshire, which is a beautiful village with a lovely green bang in the middle.
That's right, it's a beautiful day as well, isn't it?
Lovely day for playing football, clearly. But we're here for a serious job as ever to transform another garden.
That's right, I've done a made-to-measure design. We've got all the landscaping materials, we've got all the landscapers, and we've even got the plants, but there's a catch, isn't there?
Always, my questions have to be answered correctly to get the plants. It's the same old thing, but we have a challenge today because they love their football.
They do.
How are we going to get them from here into there?
I've got an idea, here.
Really?
Yeah. Hey, I'm mid. Right, leg it.
Today we're tackling a communal garden that's been looked after for the past 27 years by 91-year-old Evelyn Woodall. Helping Evelyn out today is her young friend from the village, Derek Clark. The garden now is getting a bit too much for Evelyn to manage, but she still wants a restful and enjoyable garden for her and the residents. So can Garden Invaders come to the rescue with a low-maintenance plan? I think so. Evelyn, I've got to say we're a bit worried.
Why?
Well, because we've heard that you spend your life writing into programmes, particularly gardening programmes, telling them what they're doing wrong.
No, I don't. I wouldn't presume to...
You do love your gardening programmes, though, don't you?
I do. I like them. I like them very much.
You're still gardening, aren't you?
Well, I can't do gardening as such. I do pottering and cleaning upping. Yeah.
OK, because this garden here, you started on how long ago?
27 years ago.
And you are now well known in the neighbourhood for having a beautiful garden, aren't you?
Notorious, shall we say.
Is that true, Derek? Notorious?
Slightly, yes. If Evelyn wants anything done, she actually asks.
Evelyn, what do you want from your garden? How do you want it to change?
Well, as I can't do it, I'd like it to be colourful and I'd like it to be low maintenance with perhaps bark all round it.
Yeah, OK.
Now, what about if we need to move any plants or anything, Joe? I mean,
Yeah, the salix, the little tree. How would you feel about us moving that?
Well, where would you put it?
Well, I don't know yet.
He's not allowed to tell you. He's not allowed to tell you.
And I'm not allowed to tell you, even
It's
if
a
I do.
surprise.
So what about somewhere to sit, Evelyn, in the garden? Because at the moment it's somewhere to go into,
that's
do a bit of gardening.
Would be nice to have a seat there. And I can't bring cups of tea out, so I inveigle my neighbours to say, will you make a cup of tea? So they bring the tea.
So you need somewhere for you and your neighbours to sit and all have a
Yes,
cup of tea together.
So you'll be doing the gardening today, then? No, you're going to be using your brain, aren't you?
I'll be, if
Do
any,
my questions.
If any.
You'll be fine, all right? So we're going to wander off over onto the cricket green
Yes.
and do some questions. And we're going to leave Derek and Joe to start on your garden. And from this point on, you're not allowed to have a look.
Well, how am I going to get back in the house?
Listen, I ask the questions, you answer them.
Oh, I beg your pardon.
To be honest, because it's my show, Evelyn.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
All right,
Carry on,
thank you
carry on.
very much. I just want to
Carry
make that,
on. Forget
I
that.
like you, obviously, but don't step
Forget
over
I
the mark,
answered it.
okay? All right? Thank you.
Well, here we are, Derek. It's hard to know where to start, really. Thanks,
I don't
Nick.
envy you. I don't envy you, so honestly, I don't.
Well, I have come up with a plan,
Right.
believe it or not.
A cunning plan?
A cunning plan.
Oh, good
Keeping
man.
it very simple, OK? I think we've got to rationalise all this planting somehow.
Yes.
Take out all the really little bits and pieces and just see what the bulk is here.
Yeah.
Then we want to put a stone circle at the back there, right where that lovely salix is, so we're going to have to move that
it?
carefully.
Oh, right.
And
You
then,
can do that, Jake.
Yeah, thanks very much, yeah. And then we're going to have some steps up to it and a path leading to it as well.
Right.
So it's really simple. And over this stone circle, we're going to put a pergola to create some shade, grow some climbers up and over it. So there'll be an area here for her to actually sit in the garden rather than just being able to see it.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, that's good.
Here you go. Cheers, Kevin. There you go. That's your Invader for a Day T-shirt. That'll give you a bit more faith, hopefully, when you put that on.
Yes, it will. I hope I've got a fair amount of faith anyway, Joe.
Yeah, well, let's hope so.
Yes.
Well, let's get stuck in.
Excellent stuff.
This ornamental willow is Evelyn's pride and joy, but we've got to move it. It doesn't go into the plan here. But a tip is to get as much of the root ball up and dig a hole where you're going to transplant it first. And that way, it's got much more chance of survival.
So we've left Swifty and Derek to do all the hard work with the invaders.
Yes.
And we're out here to enjoy the sunshine.
On the village green.
Isn't it a beautiful spot?
Couldn't wish for better.
Everything around you now, apart from me, you could win and end up within your garden.
Yeah.
But the first group we've got over there are your evergreen shrubs.
Yes.
Okay, then we've got some herbaceous shrubs here with a lovely potentilla in there.
Yeah.
On this side, we've got some lovely perennials, okay, including the sedum and euphorbia. And then the final group over there, your climbers. Today's a day where you don't have to worry about anything.
Good,
Evelyn,
good.
Okay, including you don't have to worry about getting a table and chairs for your garden because that's Derek's job right at the end of the programme. If he gets the gardening question right, he gets the table, the chair, the cushions,
very nice.
and you wanted somewhere that you could sit with a friend or whatever in the garden.
Yes,
Okay?
yes, very nice.
Unfortunately, though, now is the time for work.
Yes.
Okay,
good.
well, you've got
my
to
addled brain working.
your addled brain, as if. But you have got to get your brain working because it's time for your first question. And
Yeah.
the first group of plants up for grabs are your evergreens over there.
Yes.
Good old euonymus is a good-tempered and good-looking small variegated shrub. It'll climb up against a wall or fence, providing quite dense cover. Now, I love Hebes. A Hebe with a naturally clipped and manicured look. It forms a regular, rather rounded shrub with mid-green foliage and little white flowers that sit on the leaves during summer. This is an excellent hedging lavender, forming a compact bush if regularly clipped. The foliage is grey-green and the fragrant flower spikes deep violet. Now, are you a bit nervous about these questions, Evelyn?
A little bit.
Are you?
I'll wait for Patricia to do a semaphore.
There's no cheat. Just because your lovely daughter's here, there's no cheating allowed. I won't allow that, you know. I'm firm but fair, me.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Even though you're an idiot.
Thank you very much. Got the measure of me
No.
straight away within about 2
Not
seconds of
really.
being here.
No, I think you're a good bloke.
Good bloke, but a bit of an idiot.
Well,
I think I'll put that on my CV if you don't mind.
Yeah.
From you.
yes.
All right, here you go. Here's your question. Good luck, okay?
Yes.
We've all got our fingers crossed for you. Which famous variety of plum, discovered growing in a Sussex wood in 1840, not too far from here, was named after the monarch of the day? Is it Elizabeth, William, or Victoria?
Victoria.
Is
I
the correct
think.
is the correct answer?
Yeah. Oh, good.
That was easy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Hey?
Yeah.
Look at you. First group of
Make
plants
me blush.
made you blush.
Right.
They're all going in your garden.
Over the years, Evelyn's done a brilliant job on this communal garden, but I think she's made the right decision that it's now time for a bit of a change to make it much more practical and low maintenance. So what we're going to do is put some steps in, because before there's this slope, and when it gets wet, it's really treacherous, and throughout the winter, this garden becomes completely unusable. Now, the planting. She's got every plant in here under the sun, and they're so tightly knit together and they're self-seeding all over the place. So we're going to tweak the planting and also change the shape of the planting areas a little bit. Here we're going to have a path that leads off the steps and runs diagonally through the garden to give it a bit of movement, and then doglegs back in again towards a stone circle paving area here. So Evelyn can invite her friends round for a cup of tea, sit here, and we're going to put a pergola over it with some climbers, so it's going to be nice and shady, because on a hot day like this, it really is a sunny garden.
The next group of plants for you are your herbaceous shrubs. Berberis red chief has small leaves that are purple-brown or purple-red, depending on the light. It produces little in the way of flowers or fruit. For something different, this variety could be grown alongside rhododendrons. Potentilla primrose beauty. It's a plant with demure pale yellow flowers. The shrub is quite sturdy and spreading in habit. It flowers from the end of June until the beginning of September. Spirea japonica gold mound has fresh yellow foliage with appealing spring growth of attractive coppery tints. It's a small shrub but has a pleasing, gentle but bright effect and enlivens any planting. Here's your question.
Yes.
Good luck. African, French and Signet are 3 varieties of which popular flower? Are they violets, marigolds or zinnias?
I think they're marigolds.
You think they're marigolds?
Marigolds.
I think you're right. Fantastic. So those are going in your garden. Tom's taking them away in his little pumps.
These pre-made stone circles are great, but before laying them into cement, lay them out dry just to check you've got all the components, and also the orientation in the garden's quite important. It's looking good though.
I'll tell you what, Derek's a good sort, isn't he?
Yes, he's wonderful.
How do you know him?
Through the church. We've known about 20 years now.
Perfect.
And I like fellas.
So I know. You keep going on about it. It's true. Now, we need to get some more plants.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, and the next group up for grabs are these, the perennials with the sedums that you particularly like. Euphorbia is a handsome spurge which makes a superb architectural mound of whorled, narrow blue-green foliage on the upright stems. Hellebores are wonderful plants that not only look great, they smell fantastic too. This plant prefers full sun to lightly shaded sites and soil that's fertile and moisture retentive. Sedum iceberg is a cool and appealing variety of the handsome multi-season plant. The white heads are very popular with bees. There are some on here today as we talk, and they're composed of innumerable tiny flowers. You're doing very well so far, so I don't think you're going to have any trouble.
No.
Okay, but don't rush into an answer.
Just give me a nudge.
A little nudge like that. Do you think it'll be on notice if I go like that?
Yeah. And you don't send me over the side of the chair.
Here we go, Evelyn.
Yeah.
Malling Jewel and Glen Clover are 2 varieties of which popular soft fruit. Are they blackcurrants, gooseberries or raspberries?
Could be raspberries.
Yes, it's the correct answer. I wasn't going to let you talk yourself out of that one.
No.
It's good enough for me. You said raspberries.
Good.
You get the goodies.
Thank you.
All right, now I'm going to take these into your back garden, see how they're getting on.
Yes.
Okay, because they've been working jolly hard. All right, and I'll be back in a minute. Now, by the way, if you think you know anything about gardening, why not test your horticultural knowledge on our special online quiz? And if you get the questions right, you could win some of our tools. So you stay here, enjoy the sun, and I'll be back in 2 shakes
Right.
of a dog's tail.
Right. Okay.
That is a mighty fine path, sir.
It's good, isn't it?
Very
I
nice.
see them here, I see them there, I see them everywhere. See them.
Yeah, I know it's sedum.
I like them,
But
they're
nice.
great.
And Evelyn loves them, so that's even better.
That's amazing, because I'm a bit worried.
No, absolutely.
See
So,
what we've done to the garden.
so I've got to say, Joe,
Yeah.
obviously I'm a huge fan of your work. I love everything you do.
Yeah.
But this garden took 27 years to develop into a horticultural feast.
Yeah.
And you've ripped it all out.
Well, we're trying to make it low maintenance. I know, I'm a bit nervous, but she keeps
Is it
winning
not-
all these plants, doesn't she? How many plants has she
I know,
got?
but is it
We've got
not
to
a
find
bit-
somewhere to put them.
Is it not a bit drastic?
It's quite drastic, but we're going to reduce the maintenance, okay? So what we've done is left most of the shrubs in, we've taken some of the small perennials out, we're going to plant it with all the stuff that she's won, some climbers, we're going to simplify it, basically. It'll be fine. Yeah, don't worry. Leave it with me.
Huge amount of confidence. Now, how are you getting on, sir?
I'm getting on very well, Mark. Thank you
What do you
very
think about
much.
all this? It's a bit.
It's a bit bare, isn't it?
It is. It
Yeah.
worries me, but I'm not an expert, so.
The problem is, you see, you will all go and I will still be here. So don't worry.
You'll take the flak.
I'll
then.
try to.
And don't forget, end of the programme,
Yeah.
big horticultural question for you.
Oh, of course.
All right.
Yes. Okay, mate.
Keep on your
Yes.
toes.
Yes, I will. Thank you very much.
They're all very busy in the garden,
Good.
and that Derek is working his little socks off.
Oh, he would do. He's a good worker.
Your last group of plants now, they are the climbers. Fremontodendron is a particularly striking shrub when in flower. Once established, this plant dislikes being moved, so you need to pick your site carefully.
Jasmium Clotted Cream is a subtly variegated type of jasmine that's sweetly scented, but be careful if siting it too close to walls, as it can penetrate old brickwork. And Solia, the dainty bells of this species from Western Australia, appear from spring to autumn. They are frost-tender plants that grow best in a sunny spot, but like some protection from midday sun. Now, to get those plants, all you've got to tell me is, out of the 3 plants in front of you on this table, which one is the odd one out? There are 2 that are similar and 1 that is the odd one out.
I'd say those 2 are similar, because these are like grasses, and that seems to be like a red hot poker type.
You're absolutely right, because these 2 are both Panacetum grasses.
Yes.
And that one is a red hot poker.
Red hot poker.
Nyphophia.
Beautiful.
They're nice, aren't they? Would you like those as well?
Oh, yes, please.
I'll do you a deal.
Yeah.
I'll swap them for some sausage rolls.
Okay. Patricia, bring forward the sausage rolls.
Bring forward the sausage rolls, Patricia. Thank you very much indeed. So 1 plate for 1 plant. So that'll be 2 more plates then, please. Hang on, they're mine.
Up at the back of the garden, there was nothing really here. I mean, it was the most level part of the garden, but at the same time, it didn't really lead anywhere. So what we've done is put in this stone circle, and because it's level here, it sort of just works, and the planting around the back of it sits in. So it's now got somewhere to go, and Evelyn can sit here with her friends. And on top of it, we've put this simple pergola. This really is very simple. It's just 4 posts, and then we put 2 cross beams running that way, and then Nick, as you can see, has notched out some simple 4x2 beams, and he's dropped them in and screwing them in the top. And the whole point of this is that it gives the garden height, so therefore it makes the whole garden look better, but at the same time it creates some shade, but it also creates a perfect place to grow some lovely climbers like this scented jasmine. So that's going to get up and over the top of it, and it's going to be really, really lovely and scented up at the back here.
Evelyn, I have a delivery.
Oh, my goodness.
Look at that lot.
My goodness, they are out of the garden.
They are out of the garden.
Oh, yes.
27 years of planting has meant that you have too much in the garden if we're going to put our new stuff in, okay?
Yes.
So we don't want to waste the plants.
No, good, thank you.
And neither do you. So we've got quite a lot of the more heavy maintenance plants that Joe's taken out that are readily available to earn a bit of dosh. How do you fancy, as your kind of project for us, to set up a plant sale?
Yes, I think that would be an excellent idea.
Yeah, you could do that?
Yes.
So how much are you going to charge then for these?
£1.50.
£1.50? You pay at least £6.95 for that down the garden centre, that one. What I wanted to do is make Evelyn a little potting bench, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Now, just the perfect height for Evelyn, nothing too big, so that when she gets all her seedlings and cuttings and stuff out of the garden, rather than leaving them there so they just spread and go mad again, that she can just pot them up, okay, and then give them to neighbours or sell them for charity or something.
Yeah, it's all right. I'll do that for you right away.
Now, we're trying to reduce the maintenance in this garden, and there were so many perennial plants and annual plants and self-seeded plants, it was hard to know where to start. So we've been quite ruthless and taken out quite a lot of them. But we've kept this lovely clump of geraniums over the front here, and then this sedum, that looks great too, so we've kept that. But we've cleared space in between them all, some poppies at the front, and then this rose we've left in. We've left all her roses in, every single one of them. But it's a case of adding to them. So we've made some gaps, and we've got these lovely spireas here, which are shrubs. So we're actually increasing the proportion of shrubs to perennials and annuals, which is going to reduce the maintenance. So they're going to stay here all year round, and they're going to bulk up nicely into a big clump here. Now, there's other ways of reducing maintenance, apart from just the plants you're using, is what you put onto the ground. Now, you can use landscape fabric like this and put it over the ground, and that'll stop any weeding. But the thing is, in Evelyn's garden here, she's got lots of bulbs all over the place, and that'll stop them coming through. So what we're actually going to do is use this, a bark mulch, and we're going to go reasonably thin on the areas, but that's going to keep the moisture in and at the same time keep the weeding down.
Right, we need to be higher by that amount.
Well, I'm happy to say that Evelyn's won all the plants, which is great, which means we can start packing them back into those gaps that we've created. But here's some of my favourites. This one's Hebe Sutherlandii, and it's great. It's a lovely dome-shaped evergreen plant with these lovely sort of grey, greeny leaves. And it's great instead of something like box, which needs regular clipping. This doesn't need any clipping at all. And it stays nice and compact. And if it does get a bit leggy or sometimes it splits in the middle, just cut it really hard back. And over a year or two, it'll come back and it'll stay nice and neat. So I use that to really create form and accent in the garden. This one's called Potentilla Evening Primrose. Now, all the Potentillas are really good because they will just flower for ages. They'll flower their socks off all summer long. And this is very subtle. It's got a lovely, delicate yellow flower here, and it will be covered from time to time in them. But it's got a much looser form than a lot of the shrubs. It's sort of quite wispy, but it doesn't get too big, and it can easily be cut back. So I'm going to be planting clumps of 3 of them together to create some real impact. This is a really nice climber that's becoming more widely available. It's called Solia heterophylla, and it will flower from spring until the autumn with these lovely little delicate blue flowers. And what I like about it is it's very well behaved. It's clothed right down to the ground with leaves, unlike some climbers which sort of are all bare at the bottom and then have loads of growth up at the top. It reaches about 6 foot, and it likes a protected part of the garden. So I'm going to grow it over the pergola, and okay, it might lose some leaves through a harsh winter, but I think it'll do pretty well there.
Yes, that was Evelyn's original potting bench, and we thought we could do something a little bit better for her. So we've made one out of the scrap wood left over basically from the pergola. All the bits are 4x2, and then I found one edging board which I chopped up for the top. The challenge with this, though, were 2 things. One, I had to get it to sit on the wall here, so I've made some little legs on this side and some longer legs to go down to the ground here, so it's absolutely level, but also to get it the right height for Evelyn. So I measured her using her walking stick, and that's the height she likes to work at. So hopefully she'll have very many happy hours here. What do I need to do? Oh, yes, a little bit of set dressing. So, looking a bit nervous.
Mm-hmm. Just a little, just a little. Yes.
Because Evelyn speaks very highly of you.
She speaks very highly of you as well, Mark.
Unless it's called me an idiot. She's enormously grateful for all the help you give her. You're a top man. Only problem is, she desperately wants all the goodies in front of you here. Oh. All right, so not only all the pruning equipment and gardening stuff, but also the table and the bench.
And the cushions.
And the cushions and all the rest of it, okay?
So there's no pressure.
And she's got everything else. All the plants
she's done... Don't put any more pressure on.
She's got it all.
She's got it all.
Right, okay. This is a 20-year friendship that could go down the pan
now
if you get this wrong, okay?
Okay, all right.
Here's the question. Good luck. Don't rush into an answer.
No, okay.
What do you call the type of hoe that you would use to pull soil towards you or for earthing up? Is it a draw hoe, a Dutch hoe, or a swow hoe?
I am going to go for the draw hoe. Really, you know, I mean...
Going to go for the draw hoe?
I'm going to go for the draw hoe. You know, and if Evelyn, you know, will forgive me if I've got it wrong.
Not sure about that. There's good news and there's bad news.
There's good news and there's bad news, right.
The good news is... It's the correct answer.
Yes! Yes!
Okay.
Okay.
Phew. The bad news is the wood isn't treated and you're going to have to do it. Right, Evelyn, keep those eyes shut.
Yes.
How have you been feeling upstairs while you've been waiting?
Apprehensive, bored to tears, but so excited, I couldn't eat.
Really? That's all right, we'll do it for you, because I like my sausage rolls.
Yes, I know, they were good, weren't they?
They were very nice, especially warm.
Oh, yes.
Now, you need to describe to me, with your eyes shut still, what your garden, or the communal garden here, looked like this morning.
Well, a bit rough. It hadn't been really gardened for 2 years.
So you've had all these men in your garden all day.
Oh, all handsome men, crown. I love men.
Yeah, I know you love men, and you missed out on it, sadly. But there we are.
I did.
Open your eyes and have a look at your new garden.
Oh, look at it. I didn't realise the garden was so big.
I have to say, Evelyn, I was a little bit worried because when I saw the garden kind of halfway through, a lot of the plants had come out and it was looking a bit barren. But I mean, it's made a huge difference, hasn't it, Joe?
Oh,
We kept winning all the plants. We had to find somewhere to put them. But I think this is going to be a lot easier for you to maintain
yes,
because there's a lot more shrubs, proportional shrubs than perennials.
and you've left my roses
all the
Every
roses.
one of them.
You did answer the question.
Yes,
I
you got
did,
it right.
Yes,
You got it right. So you've got your chair, your table and your chairs.
Look at it.
Obviously, the big thing is the fact you've now got some hard landscaping, so you can actually go out here basically all year round, and you've got a lovely seating area over there with a pergola that we built for you, so that the climbers will go all over that, won't they?
I see. They're climbing.
And I used your walking
my
stick to
hellebore.
measure that for you, so that hopefully that is the right height for you to stand at to do your potting and stuff.
Oh, you give us a kiss.
Oh, then she lovely. See?
Favourites.
I had sausage rolls, now a big smacker on the lips. Well, listen, thank you very much for having us. We've had a brilliant day.
Well, I must say it's the happiest day I've known for a long, long time.
oh, bless
and
you,
I think
sweetheart.
you're all gorgeous and beautiful.
Gorgeous,
and
eh?
I can't thank you enough for everything you've done, all of you.
You know, I've never been to Tadley before,
No.
and I'm a big fan.
Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it?
It's a really nice community. They get on with it, and most of this community is organised by Evelyn.
Yeah, well, I know she is running this show, and I think we
Running the
have
show.
made one little piece of this area even more beautiful.
Absolutely
Don't you
right.
think?
Absolutely right. And a very busy day for her.
yeah.
And for us. I mean, I got fed and watered. I
Yeah.
got my own little sausage rolls. You made a beautiful garden. I made a lovely little bench.
It's been a great day. Listen, there's one more treat though.
Yeah, what's that?
One more treat. Got you some cake.
Got me some cake.
Evelyn's friends made you the cake.
Fantastic.
Yeah. There you go.
There's only one piece left though.
Oh, look, there's a bit.
Oh, bless them. Thank you very
There
much
you go.
indeed. That's it. Another garden sorted. We will see you next time.
See ya.